All right, everyone, here we go. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. It's straight up energy reading. This is Neptune Retrograde in Aries. Actually, a pretty important energy. It kind of ties to with a lot of the other, well, obviously it does. Everything is connected. Everything is energy, but it ties with a lot of the other readings we've been doing quite well. What is it? Well, summed up, it's clarity. It provides a lot of clarity on decision making. But these decisions in this particular with Neptune and Aries are very, well, they're sovereignty based. In other words, they're if somebody cheats during this era, if that's the decision they make, they're doing it for them. I'm doing this for me, kind of a thing like that. I think the DF side will handle that aspect a little better. I think the DF side will add some compassion to that sort of that sort of almost selfish decision making and make it creatively selfish. I think the DM side might do it for them. So if somebody shows up, I don't know what's going to happen in this reading. We're going to cut the deck and get a theme energy. But if somebody shows up your way, they're making a firm decision to do it. They see very clearly it's something that would benefit them in some way. Okay? So keep that in mind. And there you go. Right there. There's a magician. It's transform. It's a very interesting energy of the magician. It's not smoke and mirrors. It's nothing. There's nothing bad about it per se. It's the transformation energy. It's the alchemy energy. It's led into gold, but it's all very. It's all. I don't even want to call it a trick. It's fluffy. It's fluffy energy, and I don't know why. I want to see what's. Yeah, that's why. The Five of Cups. Somebody's doing something. It's somebody who's doing something because of that. So they're doing something that would be positive because of a deep negative, or they feel like they're missing out, or they regret something and they want to make them. It could be an energy, for example, we might say oh, you're just doing that to make yourself feel better. See what I'm saying? It's that kind of a thing. I don't see it as a negative. I actually don't. I think this is a terrific energy where people actually make decisions. For you, it's going to benefit you greatly. You're going to get a lot of clarity. It's sort of the information is power kind of energy. You might get some information. Mercury retrograde might bring you some information about something going on in your life, an issue, a personal, whatever. You know, it could be personal, emotional, physical, I don't know. And then you know what to do, right? You finally get the right information. It is what it is. That's what you got to do sometimes, right? Oh, man, let's see where we go. That's why people get second opinions, right? In the medical community, for example, people get second opinions. Hell, it took 3 opinions for a damn parrot. All right, card before the cuts. Why the fuck are we here? All right, let's see where we're at. Let's see where we go. All right. The 4 of Wands. There's a sovereignty aspect to this energy. And what I mean by sovereignty, well, if a country is sovereign, it governs itself, for example. This is all very self-contained, which is weird because this is why we're here as a card of marriage, the 4 of Wands. I feel like somebody attached to you is making a decision about where their life is going, okay? I think you are too. But this is an incoming energy I'm pulling on that's making a decision about where their life is going. It looks like it's going your way. I got nothing bad here so far. I'm not even worried about that really because, why? Because it's easy to make decisions. And I have to swim in this energy to pull the reading. It's easy to make decisions. It's the Page of Swords. Somebody's not giving it much thought. It's sometimes I call it a disappointment energy. Sometimes it's, it is what it is. Spying energy, it can be. But somebody's making decisions about their life. I think they're making the decision quickly. Children that age make very quick decisions, don't they? That's why they do a lot of stupid things. Yeah, I'll jump that river on my bike. Sure. We'll jump off this bridge. Sure. Well, I don't know what it was where I grew up. Kids were always jumping off things or trying to go over things. I don't know what that is. The funny thing is you never hear about the girls doing that. It's always the boys, with the broken leg or the broken arm. Well, it's sort of what's going on here. Somebody's very short-sighted in what they're thinking, but they are doing something that they feel will benefit them, okay? Whether that works out well or not, I don't know. All the Page of Swords is saying, I still don't have anything negative. All the Page of Swords is saying is they're not giving it much thought. No more thought than a 12-year-old boy would give to jumping the ravine on his BMX bike. All right? So Okay? Like I said, this is one of those energies that's really going to benefit the DF. It might give you a laugh with somebody coming towards you. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. Somebody definitely here, with Mercury retrograde right now, somebody is, I would say, I say as definitely as I can't predict free will. Somebody going to try and get a hold of you. I'm not saying that you're a runner or anything. I'm just saying somebody that maybe you don't, I don't know, either expect to hear from or dare call back is going to try to get a hold of you a lot. They're going to seem like they're losing their shit over it, in fact. And it's like no big deal. You're like, why is this person freaking out that I'm not available? They keep getting my voicemail. What the fuck's going on? Just don't be surprised if that happens. All right? I'm not talking to all of you, but a good majority of you, that kind of thing will happen. All right, here we go. All right. You might also have trouble with people returning your calls. Sometimes when we mix a Neptune direct with a Mercury retrograde, especially if it's a Cancerian or a water sign sort of Mercury retrograde, although with Neptune and Aries, all bets are off, but sometimes they're doing it on purpose. They're not returning your call on purpose. They're trying to get you to do something, right? Like a sales tactic of doing a takeaway kind of a thing. So just keep that in mind if that applies to you. You know, if you're waiting for a call back and somebody hasn't called, I called them a week ago, Steve, and they haven't called me back. What the fuck's going on? That's probably what the fuck's going on. All right. Whatever. Don't keep calling. That would be my advice. Do what you want to do. Make your own decisions. General reading, it may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here, you found Steve Love Tarot, you're here for a reason. This reading is timeless. I'm not a fucking Time Lord. I am doing a lot of shuffling, but I gave you a lot of tips on the energy while I was shuffling. So take it for what it's worth to you. But it is that kind of energy, and that's the kind of shit that happens, and that's from my notebooks, not from some astrology site. My own observations of the past. But with Neptune, like I said, with Neptune and Aries, all bets are off. Neptune doesn't change signs very often, so, my notebooks only can do so much. That said, in this particular case, here's the overall energy of our reading. The Six of Wands, it's victory. Let me teach you how to get victory here. What's underneath that? There's the Seven of Swords. Yeah. Somebody realizes what's good for them. All right. Somebody's getting victory over their own lies. You might get the truth when that kind of energy is there from somebody. Okay. Somebody's telling you something. I believe, if just reading the incoming energy, it applies to you as well in some degree. Somebody's telling you something that they need to do for them. Again, this is all about, I need to do this for me. Whether somebody's telling you something, somebody's cheating on you, somebody's screwing you over. They're in their mind's eye, in the way they feel. It's, I'm doing this for me. Okay, which can justify things sometimes, and sometimes it's a bit of a bullshit play. But either way, I feel like here truth is getting conquered. Yeah. Again, somebody's leaving lies at home and coming to you. Victory after a long battle energy with some kind of truth. So let's pull on that. All right, let's see where we go. Let's do a pyramid. Yeah. Here's how they feel about you. Here's how they see you. Right? What they think about you. And here's a potential final outcome for you. I say potential because I cannot predict free will. Nobody can. I'll clarify whatever I think needs clarifying. Should be just about everything in this reading. And we'll throw some universe cards at the end, and you bet your sweet asses we're going to extend this one. For sure. Let's see where we go. It's a big reading. And, it really is. Neptune's a very strong influence. It's an underrated influence. The press always goes to Mars or, Uranus with its unpredictability. Neptune, that fogginess when Neptune is direct benefits us. It makes us do kind of things that we wouldn't normally do and whatever. With all this clarity around, at the very least, somebody attached to you, and I can see it here with the feelings with the Eight of Swords. Somebody here can see what an asshole they've been. Very, very, very clearly. Okay? You set your card right here. Here's their feelings. Seven of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the Six of Cups. They feel like they need to make amends. Somebody feels like they need to come back, make amends. What's been kept at bay? I never knew, this guy, if I'm to do his voice, I never knew I was such a prick. I kind of kept that at bay. Now, I know I've been a prick. Oh my God, what an asshole I am. I should go make amends. That's how they feel. I mean, I just acted out the cards for you, but that's basically the energy that's here. The cards are just mediums for me, but they reflected it beautifully. That's what's going on. It's kind of what I said here for the overall energy, which should jive with the feelings. All right? Okay. How do they see you? What do they think about the devil? How do they see you, the devil? What else? Fucking hell. Really, on a Sunday? Come on. And the Seven of Cups. Well, I should preface this with, this is a self-deprecating energy, right? This reminds me of the other day. I could describe this better the other day as far as what they think about you. Okay, we had a shitload of groceries on the aisle there, and this couple, this younger couple in their 20s or something, came up behind us with like 2 items in their hand. We were already in the middle of checkout, right? And I'm looking around and I'm seeing aisle 4 is better, aisle 6 is better, aisle 7 is better. And I just turned to them, I jokingly said, and then fortunately they laughed because I phrased it properly. I said, you too need to make better decisions. I said it like, and they, oh, well, we're not in a hurry. Or I said, well, I hope the fuck not. And then it made them think. It made them kind of look around, and they actually went to another line because it didn't make sense for them to stand there, right? This person thinks you need to make better decisions. They don't. This energy with all this clarity is making them see what an asshole they've been. Oh, and look, the Hierophant's underneath there too. Oh my God, at the bottom of the deck we're going to clarify with, the Hierophant is there. So yeah, this person thinks you need to make better decisions. Maybe that's what they're telling themselves before they come in. Before they show up. I don't know. Sometimes these DM energies need to puff themselves up and feel like the hero. Maybe somebody wants to be the guru for once. I don't know. But they think you need to make better decisions. They think in other words, they think you like them, and you shouldn't, because they've been such a prick, and they feel like they need to come in and make amends. But they're doing it under the guise of, whether it's, I don't know, self-deprecating or not, they're doing it under the guise of being your hero on some level, or being the guru for once. Okay? It's just, it's a bit of that. It all feels very cheeky. That's why I say, you too need to make better decisions. Take a look around here. Why would you pick this line? How much time are you trying to kill? I was kind of serious. I was joking with them. I'm glad they laughed, but my God. Let me know when you two are out on the road so I'm not there at the same time. All right. Potential final outcome for you. Red with 7 wands. The Page of Wands. You have one of the best, it's communication in this aspect, because it's with the 7 of Wands here. I'll give you a piece of advice. In this energy, just shut up and listen. You're about to have one of the best conversations you ever had with somebody, and it's so on the level of 2 children talking more than anything else. What I encourage you not to do, and I see this a lot, if you're one of my younger viewers, I see this a lot in your younger generations. The Gen Zers in particular tend to be active listeners, and it drives me crazy. I'm trying to impart some wisdom on somebody, and they keep going, yep, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, all the whole time I'm fucking talking. Shut the fuck up. You're not listening when you're doing that. Your brain is engaging, and you're missing a lot of what's going on. I don't want you to miss this conversation, whatever age you are, by being an active listener. Knock it off. Stay quiet when somebody's talking to you. Let your brain's processor do its job. We do not have multi-core processors as human beings. We don't multitask well at all. Tests have shown that. Countless studies have shown that. That's why texting and driving is bad. It's terrible. Listen, you're about to have one of the best conversations you've had with this person. Let's clarify. Let's see where we go. All right, let's see where we're at here. All right, let's clarify the 8 of Swords. Oh, look who came back, the Hierophant. Yeah. Somebody is seeing that they're not... Oh, this is a great energy. This is somebody finally feeling the shit that they are. They're not seeing, they had this opinion of themselves, and they're seeing that they're not that. And it's driving them crazy. Well, wait, I'm not that. What's on top? Yeah, the Knight of Wands. And why is that here? The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, somebody's seeing who they really are. It's what I said. I don't know why I'm your second favorite. It's what I said. Somebody finally seeing who they really are. You know, and it's not that. All right, but they're going to come in maybe and try and pretend to be that, because this is an angel energy, and it was here at the beginning. We were talking about the devil here. So, all right. This is a very interesting energy. I love this. This is funny. That's really funny. Why are they even still there? Why would they even still take my call? They need to make better decisions. I need to go in and do this, do the right, you know. It might even be somebody, it's funny because this could play out as somebody coming to get rid of you. That ends up going well. It ends up working out well, and not only do they not get rid of you, you guys have a tighter bond. This is one of those things that can really work out in your favor. I'm pulling on the Seven of Wands. Let's see where we go. There's a lot of clarity here. And while they're talking, they might even gain some clarity. See this? This goes to the Eight Swords. These are read center, left, right. Here's Eight Swords crossing it. Yeah. Somebody didn't, the things that, well, this is maybe the downside of Neptune direct. The things we don't like to think about suddenly become very clear, and we start thinking about them, right? What's on top? The Nine of Pentacles. And why is that here? And the Queen of Pentacles. Somebody feels like they don't have, this is the I'm doing it for myself energy. I feel trapped. I'm doing it for myself. It's all kind of, well, in a way it's probably clear because it's clear energy, but it feels like an illusion to me with the Eight of Swords. This is I'm doing it for myself. Somebody feels trapped in their life. I'm not free at all. Steve's viewer is free. I want to be free. That kind of a thing. The DFs are free. I want to be free kind of a thing. So somebody is breaking free of their oppressor. What they feel is their oppressor in their life, and they're doing it for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's that energy. That's down the center of it. For you, however, because these are read with your final outcome, you come out smelling like a rose, I'd be willing to bet, because this will be read with whatever falls here. And on this side, whatever falls here is read with Nine Pentacles. So again, it's a very liberating conversation for you, provided you listen. Let's pull on the Six of Cups. My read on the Six of Cups is they feel like they need to show up. Okay. Again, why they show up and and how the conversation ends could be two different things in this energy. Somebody will talk themselves. There's so much clarity. Somebody who really wants to be with you, that's coming to get rid of you, will, as they talk themselves right into staying with you. See what I'm saying? That's why you shut up and you let it happen. You let Neptune retrograde in Aries do its fucking job. All right? Let it do its job. All right, let's see where we go. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles. There's an urgency here. Somebody feels like a lot of time's been wasted. Or this is a moment that's been coming a long time. They might get a little dramatic. I'm doing this for me, but this is a moment that it's been coming. It's been written in the stars. Why they might, that kind of a thing. Yeah, okay. Stop trying to turn it. Stop trying to turn it into a hit Bon Jovi song or something. It's not really. Nine of Cups. Why is the Six of Cups here? The Nine of Cups. Yeah. Okay, that's basically emotional fulfillment and the Six of Pentacles. It's very selfish. It's a very one-sided energy. It's very selfish. He's solo. He's walking by himself, right? Very slowly. Somebody here very pensive about this. Very in-depth. I have to do this for me. It's everything I've already said. Let's get to the devil. This is where the fun lives. Let's go. Steve's viewer needs to make better decisions. Why would I even still be a thing? That sort of a thing. And that's not the case at all. You don't need to make better decisions. This person just needs to get, some clarity, needs to get real, for lack of a better way to put it. Tell me about the devil. Why is it here? The Two of Cups. Yeah. You're making them, what do they think about you? They think you think they're soulmates. It's exactly what I said. You think they're soulmates, and they don't understand why. They don't have an understanding of why. Why would you? Steve viewer needs to make better decisions. What I said. What's on top? The Four of Swords. Yeah. And why is that here? The Ten of Cups. This is someone who thinks, when they look at you, what they think about in the 3D is they think that you love the idea of them, but not them. And in reality, that energy is actually flipped. They love the idea of you and not you. You know, the idea of you is great. The soulmate and all that kind of stuff. That's a terrific thing. But this person has a very, very low self-worth. This person deep down, and they're going to see that very clearly. You saw it here with 8 swords. Whoops, 8 swords crossing here, right? 8 swords over here, and I said they get the wheel turns everything. They get a flip on who they really are. They're not really the Hierophant, you know. So again, it is a bit of that. But they of course cast it on you. They think you. They're a little bit confused in a way. They got it backwards, but they're going to see very clearly that actually, you know, you don't have it. You don't have bad decision making. They do. All right, 7 of Cups. Why is that here? Very interesting. I'm interested in this 7 of Cups. I wouldn't normally be, but fuck it. I want to see what's going on here with this. The Ace of Wands. Yeah, again, somebody's making a decision quickly here. They look at you, they think about this, and they want to make a decision quick. We need to cut the cord. It feels very negative, but it turns out positive. So don't worry about that. What's on top? Yeah, the Chariot. Yeah, what did I say? They need to charge in quick. They're making a quick decision. Why is that here? The Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. Too much time's been wasted. There's an urgency here. The 5 of Wands. Yeah. Somebody is mistaken. They're mistaking the clarity that they're getting about themselves and then transferring it onto your connection as it needs to be rushed to the ER. You know, it needs to be rushed to the emergency room, and it really doesn't. This person needs to spend more time in the clarity. I think that the cut cards are right. I think they're making a decision. They're making a good decision too quickly. And then maybe it should take some time and chill out. But it works to your advantage. This is a wonderful final outcome for you. It's one of the nicest. There's a lot of different energies that come off these cards as mediums. This is a very nice Page of Wands. It's a very nice energy. Tell me about it. Let's go. Tell me about this Page of Wands. What's the final outcome for my viewers? Let's see. Okay. We'll stop there. The 4 of Wands. Perfect. Why is that perfect? It's your final outcome. It's also your card before the cut from another deck. The Why the Fuck Are We Here card. It's right there. It's the 4 of Wands. It's beautiful. You get a happy new beginning with this person, provided you don't active listen. You don't multitask while they're fucking talking to you. You know, this is one of those things. I've been in this situation a few times in my life where somebody's come to me with a gripe and a problem that they can't figure out. And I just sit there. I never say a word. I just let them tell me about the problem. And they're nattering on and they're getting excited and they're getting excited. And at some point, every once in a while, I'll start cracking a smile. Because I could hear that they just solved their own problem with the whole diatribe. They're ranting at me. Okay? They solved the whole thing. That's sort of you here. It's sort of if you just listen, you'll just crack a smile at some point and go, you don't want to be gone. You're here because you want to be here. It is a bit of that, you know. Somebody's seeing, in a nutshell, with the 8 swords crossing the 7 wands and the 8 swords over here and the Hierophant getting flipped into Flighty McFlightyman here, my party girl's older sister, shouldn't be going to these parties at that age. Right. You're watching somebody before you realize what a prick they've been. And it kind of brings a smile to your face. You don't have to say anything. This is a very one-sided conversation, I believe. There's the Ace of Wands. And why is that here? The 3 of Cups. It's perfect. You know, it's perfect. And the 4 of Wands, well, I'll put it somewhere. When we put it there. The 4 of Wands was crossing. The 3 of Cups. It's a wonderful card. It's the biggest card of communication for me in my reading, in the Minor Arcana, because it's very emotional. But this emotion will come at you very quickly. If you're active, this Ace of Wands is talking about there's a chance here. You know, there's a chance here. There's a moment, but you got to listen or it'll pass very quickly. It would have, I'll be honest with you, this reads like a Knight of Wands. It would have given me another one if there was another one. But this is the closest it can get to a Knight of Wands. I guarantee you, I would have gotten a Knight of Wands there if there was a second one in that deck. And you've seen that before. You've seen that happen. You know, if you watched a recent soulmate journey reading, right? We had an accidental light seer in the witches, mixed in with the witches. And I pulled the Ten of Pentacles, and then I pulled the other Ten of Pentacles from the other deck. I mean, the odds of that happening were crazy, but that will happen from time to time. This is a very fruitful conversation you have with this person. But keep in mind, anything that happens to you in this energy from other people, you know, they're doing it for them, whether it's good or bad. So you can either get pissed about that or not, you know. There's a lot of, on the negative side, because, you know, the positive stuff is great, but I like to share with you some of the perils of this energy. A lot of hissy fits can happen in this energy, where people dig their heels in, you know, refuse to whatever. Well, I'm doing this for me. I refuse to give you this because I'm doing it for me. So it's not a great energy to ask, say, a friend or family member for a loan who's usually tough to get money out of. They'll dig their heels in on the no side because of the clarity of what a bad idea it is to lend money to family, for example. And they won't, I'm doing this for me. They'll say they're doing it for you, but it's all for them. It's all a very sovereign, selfish kind of energy, you know, self-contained, you know. So keep that in mind. That's one of the negatives. You may run into some people who throw some hissy fits and dig their feet and dig their heels in a bit. All right. Let's see where we go. 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card. What else you want to tell my people? Or did I just say it? Bottom card, 2 of Cups, 9 of Cups, the Fool, and the Page of Pentacles. Interesting. What's under this? The Chariot, the soulmate journey itself. This soulmate cycle's Cancerian energy. That's my, this soulmate journey, Steve. This bus, this route right here that we're on. This soulmate journey. This is separate from this reading. You're going to realize that somebody else is a soulmate in this. You're going to realize your soulmates with somebody in this energy. During this transit, during Neptune retrograde in Aries, you are going to realize that your soulmates, and this came up in a recent reading too, so this makes sense. You realize it very quickly, and you act upon it, right? I won't lie. You may end up with another runner, but it won't be anything. You might. So you need to be cool. Don't dump too much emotion on them. You need to be cool, right? Don't go up to this person all fucking crazy town. We soulmates. We're going to be together. We've been traveling through space and time. This guy Steve said we're from the 11th dimension. I mean, I'd run from you too. Crazy town. Crazy town, you know, buy one of those amulets at the party store that glows when you talk. You know, I mean, it's like, what the fuck is happening here? You know, am I in Star Wars? And at the end of the day, just be cool about it. But you might have a runner anyway. People don't always, you know, you're altering a connection with somebody. It's somebody you already know, I think, or somebody who's been around. Image-wise, it could be. It might be a celebrity that you decide you have a soulmate. It could be. But you get a lot of clarity on it. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, that's your reading here. It's very nice. Just don't active listen. And anything that you do in this energy, you're going to say to yourself, I'm doing this for me. But because on the DF side, I think you have that empathy. You have a little more compassion. You try to weigh it against the greater good. You know, in all cases, just stop yourself for 10 seconds, maybe weigh it against the greater good. I think you'll just do that naturally. This is a very incoming DM energy that I got here for sure, especially when somebody sees that they're not the great, awesome, whatever they thought they were, they're just that, you know. All right, that's your reading. I hope it was helpful. If you want the extended, there's a couple of links at the top of the description. Should be interesting. I'm very interested. I'm always interested in the devil. You know that. I'm very interested in this because it's funny to me. This person, for as much of a prick as they might have been, and I might be exaggerating that just to be funny here, but for as much as a prick as they might have been, they actually have a very, very, they do that as a defense mechanism in a strange way because they feel like, my God, they in part at least, they ran from you because they feel like that they're doing you a favor by doing that. And that's very odd. I'm going to pull on that. All right, and I'll open by pulling on you as well. We'll get some more, see what's going on. That's your reading. Hope it was helpful. Good luck.